The Los Angeles Lakers are going through something that hasn't happened in over 20 years. And the effects of this change are about to change everything we thought we knew about this team's near future. Welcome to Lakers News Fan Report, your home for the latest breaking news, exclusive inside analysis, and all the updates you need about our beloved Los Angeles Lakers. I've got something today that's going to start a huge talk among Lakers Nation, and I need you to stay with me through every detail, because what I'm about to tell you is a huge change in the power setup of our organization. A change that's been growing quietly under the surface, but is now impossible to ignore. Let me start by painting a picture of where we are right now as a team. The Lakers are 15-4. Sitting near the top of the Western Conference standings, playing some of the most exciting basketball we've seen in years. The energy at Arena is electric. The chemistry on the court is clear. And there's a real belief within this organization that we're building something special. Something that can compete for championships, not just this year, but for years to come. That kind of lasting success, that kind of long-term good feeling, it's something we haven't been able to say with confidence in quite a while. When you look at our recent games, when you watch how we're beating opponents, when you see the way this team is playing on both ends of the floor, it's clear that something basic has changed about the Lakers' identity. We're not depending on individual great plays to win games anymore. We're not living and dying by one player's performance. Instead, we're seeing a balanced attack, many scoring threats, defensive energy that lasts all 48 minutes, and a deep talent that lets us handle injuries and rest days without falling apart. That's the sign of a truly top organization, and it's exactly where the Lakers need to be if we're going to take back our spot at the top of the NBA. The Western Conference is absolutely full of talent right now. You've got the defending champions still hungry for more. You've got young, rising teams that are building great teams. You've got veteran-led squads that are in their championship time and going all in. The competition is tough, and there's no room for being too comfortable or too emotional when you're trying to get through this scene. Every decision has to be made with cold, exact thinking, weighing present performance against future potential, balancing respect for past work with the hard realities of where players are in their careers. One of the most interesting developments of this season has been watching how our team has changed, how different players have stepped into bigger roles, how the order within the team has naturally rearranged itself based on performance and production, rather than reputation or past success. Basketball is the best example of rewarding performance at the end of the day. The players who produce, who deliver in important moments, who make their teammates better, those are the players who earn the most responsibility and the most recognition. And this season, we've seen some players rise to moments that maybe we didn't fully expect when the season began. Austin Reaves has been an absolute surprise this year. I'm talking about a real breakout season that has moved him from a solid role player into a genuine star-level player. Reaves is averaging career highs in everything. His efficiency has gone way up. His decision-making has improved a huge amount, and he's become one of the most clutch players in the whole league. When games are on the line, when we need someone to make a play, Reaves has consistently done it time and time again. That kind of reliability, that kind of growth, it's exactly what championship teams are built on. The rise of Reaves as a real number 2 or even number 1 option on offense has been one of the most surprising and exciting stories of the 2025 to 2026 NBA season. Nobody guessed he would make this kind of jump. Sure, we knew he was talented. We knew he was smart. We knew he had that special quality that winning players have. But to see him change into an all-star level player, to watch him go face-to-face with the best players in the league and more than hold his own, that's been truly special to see as Lakers fans. But Reeves' breakout isn't even the biggest story around the Lakers right now. In February of this year, the Lakers made a trade that absolutely shocked the basketball world. A move that nobody saw coming. A trade that immediately split opinions across the whole NBA scene. The Lakers traded Anthony Davis, one of the most dominant two-way players in the league, a generational talent who had been key in bringing championship number 17 to Los Angeles. Trading AD was unthinkable to many fans. A move that seemed to go against everything we understood about building championship teams. But in exchange for Davis, the Lakers got Luka Doncic. Let that sink in for a moment. Luka Doncic, the 26-year-old Slovenian superstar, who is widely considered one of the 5 best players in the world, who is a regular MVP candidate, who has been carrying teams on his back since he was 19 years old. The Lakers pulled off a trade that brought Luka Doncic to Los Angeles, putting him with a breakout Austin Reeves and creating a dynamic pair that has the power to dominate the league for the next 10 years. The impact of Doncic's arrival in Los Angeles cannot be said enough. From the moment he put on the purple and gold, from his very first game at Arena, it was clear that we were seeing something special. Doncic brings an offensive versatility that is almost impossible to defend. He can score from anywhere on the court. He's one of the best passers in NBA history. He has the size to post up smaller defenders. He has the ball handling to break down anybody one-on-one. And he has the basketball IQ to beat any defensive plan thrown at him. Watching Doncic work in the Lakers system has been absolutely amazing. The chemistry between Doncic and Reeves has grown faster than anyone could have guessed. They work well together, perfectly, with Doncic's ability to create for others, opening up endless chances for Reeves to attack and make plays, while Reeves' movement without the ball and shooting ability gives Doncic the space he needs to work. Together, they form one of the most deadly backcourt pairs in the whole NBA. And they're both still young enough that this partnership could define Lakers basketball for the next 8 to 10 years. Early in the season, there was a time where one of our veteran players missed several games. And during that absence, something amazing happened. The Lakers didn't just get by without this player. They did great. The team went on a winning streak. The offense looked smoother. The ball movement was sharp. Younger players got chances to shine. And there was a noticeable energy change that had people around the league paying attention. It raised an uncomfortable question that nobody really wanted to talk about directly, but that was impossible to ignore. Does this team actually play better without this particular veteran in the lineup? That veteran player, the one whose absence seemed to unlock something special in the Lakers' performance, is someone whose name is linked with excellence, whose resume includes many championships, whose impact on basketball goes far beyond just stats and wins. We're talking about someone who has been the face of teams for 2 decades, who has carried teams to championships multiple times, who is considered bracket P and bracket P/P, one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. But we're also talking about someone who is 41 years old and dealing with the unavoidable physical decline that comes with age. LeBron James is no longer the main man of the Los Angeles Lakers. For the first time in his 20-plus-year career, LeBron is not the clear leader, not the player that everything goes through, not the guy who has the final say on every play. That's not a criticism of LeBron. It's simply accepting the truth. At 41 years old, even with all his incredible lasting power and his ability to beat Father Time longer than maybe any player in NBA history, LeBron cannot be the same player he was 5 years ago, let alone 10 or 15 years ago. The Lakers now have Luka Doncic, a 26-year-old superstar who is in his absolute best years, who is an MVP candidate every single season, who has the talent and the drive to lead this team to many championships. Doncic is the present and the future of the Lakers. That's not guessing. That's not opinion. That's just the factual truth of where this organization is right now. When you have a player like Doncic, a generational talent who is 15 years younger than LeBron, the whole math of your team building changes. LeBron has dealt with sciatica issues this season, pain in his left leg that has forced him to sit out many games for rest. Against the New Orleans Pelicans this past Sunday, LeBron was held out to rest, and the Lakers won easily without him. Throughout the 2025-26 season, LeBron is expected to sit out many more games as the organization handles his minutes and tries to keep him fresh for a possible playoff run. That's the reality of having a 41-year-old player on your team, no matter how great that player has been throughout his career. Stephen A. Smith, one of the most well-known voices in sports media, recently talked about LeBron's situation on the Joe and Jada podcast. Smith has had his disagreements with LeBron over the years. Their relationship has been complicated and at times argumentative. But on this particular topic, Smith gave an analysis that was both respectful of LeBron's abilities and realistic about his future with the Lakers. According to Smith, LeBron can still play at a high level, even at 41, even with the sciatica issues. Smith believes LeBron can come back and average over 20 points per game, that he still has the skill and the basketball IQ to help a championship team meaningfully. However, and this is the key part that Lakers fans need to understand, Smith also stated that if the Lakers had a choice, they would trade LeBron. Not because his game has fallen off a cliff, not because he can't help anymore, but simply because of his age, and because the team now has Luka Doncic as their future. Smith was very clear about this difference. The possible trade thought isn't about LeBron's current performance. It's about the truth that he's 41 years old, and the Lakers want to build around younger players who can keep up excellence for the next decade. Smith's exact words were telling. He said the Lakers would think about trading LeBron because of his age and the fact that they have Luka as the future. He pointed out that Luka is 26, and the Lakers want young players to grow and take on bigger roles, not someone who is 41 and likely retiring within the next year or two. Smith emphasized that this isn't about LeBron's game, it's about his age. That's an important difference that we need to understand as we think about this information. The basketball side of LeBron's game is still impressive for a player his age. He can still score well. He can still help set up and create for others. He can still impact winning when he's on the court. But the organization's thinking goes beyond just what happens during the 48 minutes of game time. The Lakers have to think about team building, salary cap effects, the growth of younger players, and the long-term path of the team. When you have Luka Doncic, when you have Austin Reeves breaking out into stardom, when you have other young pieces that need minutes and chances to grow, keeping a 41-year-old LeBron James on the team becomes a more complicated decision than it might look on the surface. There is also the question of what LeBron wants at this point in his career. Does he want to be the third or fourth option on a team, coming off the bench or playing fewer minutes? Does he want to be in a situation where the offense doesn't go through him? Where he's not the main decision-maker on every play? LeBron has been the leader for his whole career, and getting used to a smaller role, even on a winning team, might not be something he's interested in doing. If that's the case, if LeBron wants to go somewhere where he can still be the main guy, or at least have a more important role, then a trade or a buyout situation that lets him sign somewhere else might actually be the best result for everyone involved. The Lakers are 15-4 right now, playing their best basketball in years, and they're doing it with Luka Doncic as the face of the team. Whether LeBron stays and finishes his career in Los Angeles, whether he gets traded to a competing team that needs veteran leadership, or whether he decides to retire, none of those situations change the basic truth that Doncic is now the Lakers' franchise player. This is Luka's team now, and everything moving forward will be built around making the most of his best years and putting the pieces necessary to win many championships around him. For Lakers fans, this change might feel both happy and sad. LeBron brought us championship number 17. He delivered on his promise when he came to Los Angeles, and he's been nothing but professional throughout his time in purple and gold. But championship organizations have to make hard decisions based on where players are in their careers rather than what they've done in the past. The Lakers are positioned beautifully for lasting success, with Doncic and Reeves as the base. And whatever decisions get made about LeBron's future will be made with that long-term view in mind. So, here's what I want to know from all of you watching right now. How do you feel about the possibility of LeBron leaving the Lakers, either through trade or retirement? Do you think the Lakers should keep him for the rest of this season and let him retire as a Laker? Or would you support a trade if it brought back assets that could help us win more championships with Luka? How do you judge LeBron's fit on this current team, with Doncic as the main star? I want to hear your honest thoughts in the comments below, because this is one of the most important changes in Lakers history, and your perspective as passionate fans matters. If you want to stay updated on every development about LeBron's future, Luka's continued dominance, and all the moves the Lakers make as we push toward the playoffs and beyond, make sure you subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report and hit that notification bell. We're here every single day, bringing you the content, analysis, and inside information you need to stay connected to your Los Angeles Lakers. Drop a like on this video if you found this analysis helpful. Share it with other Lakers fans who need to understand what's happening with this team, and let's keep this conversation going in the comments. The next few months could define the Lakers for the next decade, and I'll be here covering every single moment. Until next time, let's go Lakers. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. We're doing awesome. Please subscribe if you like the videos. Thank you again. See you in the next one. Have an awesome day.